Monique Noel-Gunter here, day 15 of 365. Taxes. Right? Nothing is certain in life except for death and taxes. Did you know that taxes are. Okay, wait, let me rewind. There are two ways that our government makes money, right? One is taxes, and two is printing more money. The more money you print, the less the money is worth. And then what do you have to do? Increase taxes, right? As a person who understands the value of my time and money, I really want to make sure that I am not being taken advantage of by anybody. That being said, my mindset has now switched from one mindset. I don't want to step on any toes here, but can I talk real? Let me just be real with you guys, okay? There is an employee mindset and there's an employer mindset, right? And then there's a business mindset. So 3 different mindsets. You have one person, we'll say the employee, who wants to go to work and get their check, right? They put in their time, they know they're getting their check at the end of the week. The thought behind that is that it's more secure, right? You put in X amount of hours, you know you're getting X amount of dollars. The truth is that it's not secure at all, because if you can't do the work, your income stops. If the employer decides that they don't want you anymore, you can't do the work, your income stops. If you decide you don't want to do the work anymore, or you don't do it up to par, and then you can't do the work, the income stops. So it's like a facade of safety security, because you think that you're going to get something that you put in for and it comes out. Plus, there's the whole trap of benefits, right? Before, like in the days of old, as they say, you'd work for like 40 years, retire with a pension and a gold watch or a fancy pen. Now, most people don't do that. They work until they get sick of the job and then they leave and they go find a job that pays them more, right? So how do employers get to keep the employees there? The employers have to get creative. So they come up with things to incentivize employees to come to their business. For example, 401k. 401k is sold to the employee as retirement savings plan, right? They don't tell us that that money is gonna have taxes due by the time we're 59 and a half. If we don't make arrangements to pay those taxes, they can take half of what we have in our 401k, 403b, for whatever. And there's nothing we can do about it because, we didn't pay the taxes up front. So it seems as though employers are able to retain employees when they offer certain benefits like retirement plan. Health benefits is huge. People think that you have to keep your job in order to keep your benefits, but you don't realize if you are a business owner and you have your own business, you can qualify for solo K. You can qualify for business. I think it's called shop benefits. Basically, you as the employer and your employees all qualify for health benefits. It's always cheaper, surprisingly, than what you would pay if you were at the job. So those are some benefits that employers offer to employees to keep the employees at the job, which my wonderful business partners have told me means just over broke. And I'm not knocking anybody with a job, because listen, I've had so many jobs and I'm so grateful for them, because that just over broke paid the bills that my family needed way more consistently than businesses that I've tried in the past have done. That being said, I'm going to go over into now employer mindset. An employer is kind of like someone who does not want a boss, right? They want to be their own person, their own boss. They are relying on themselves. They're willing to risk not having the security of a steady paycheck in order to have freedom to do whatever they want. Make their own rules, make their own schedule, decide how they're going to do what, right? The employer now is kind of like the employee, because they're still trading their time for their money. They still have to go to work. They still have to get the job done. It's like as a realtor, for example, I'm technically an employer, because I can hire an assistant. I can hire other people to help me to do the work. I can go through and have my brokerage and hire other realtors to go out and sell houses, and then I'll get a percentage of the commission. But as an employer, I'm responsible now for the work that my employees do. I'm responsible for them doing it well and making sure that I'm a good boss so that I can keep my employees coming to work and keep my production where it needs to be. The employer mindset is that I need to have good employees there so that I can have more time freedom, right? I'm there to make sure that the work gets done. I'm more like a supervisor manager kind of thinker. There's another step. The thing is, if you do that, you're still tied into the business, right? You're working in the business. The business owner is the mindset where I've switched to, because I realize I can own a business, right? And let the business work for me. For example, if I own a shopping mall, I have stores, right? And I have rent coming in from the store owners. They have their businesses, they're running their businesses. My responsibility would be to maintain the grounds or hire someone to maintain the grounds, a property manager. I'm not working in the business, but I own the business. So the mindset there is I've provided a vehicle for employers and employees to use so that they can provide services to the people who need them. So I have an income coming to me passively because I'm getting paid on the work that I did before, the investments that I invested. I'm reaping the benefits of them now. Those different mindsets, although they seem very similar, they're very different because they're able to allow us to do different things. And as a business owner or an employer, now I'm able to write off things that I wouldn't be able to write off as an employee. For example, if I have to take my vehicle to go to different properties or to go perform my business, now I can write off the vehicle. I can write off mileage that has to do for business. I can write off my cell phone bill if my cell phone bill is my business line. I can write off electricity percentages, internet percentages, just like a whole list of things that are legal deductions for a business. What's very strange is that we are not taught this in school, right? We're trained to go to school, get good grades, get good jobs, follow the rules, be good employees, basically. But the minute we start to think outside of the box, people start to tell us that we're weird, we're strange, we're not thinking right. It's too risky, There are safe things in this world, but then there are things that seem safe but that aren't really safe. In my opinion, business is risky, whether you're the employee, the employer, or the business owner. There's always a risk involved. So we really have to find out where we sit, where we're comfortable, and if we're willing to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I said a lot today, and I'm saying it because I feel as though not enough of us are talking about the choices that we're making. Like, we get stuck in this cycle of going to work so that we could provide for our families, but then don't realize that if we don't stop and look at, the trajectory, we'll continue doing that until we can't work anymore. And then what? Then what happens to our income? What happens to our family? What happens if, God forbid, we get called home before we've finished accomplishing everything we set out to accomplish? There's a lot involved, right? So I want to make this video partly because my business is to educate people on this, partly because I am a recruiter, and if I can show you a better way, I will, and partly because I understand that society needs all three. We need employees, we need employers, we need business owners. And I believe that we work hand in hand together. No one is better than the other. Because to tell you the truth, you can be a business owner, but if you don't have an employer to hire an employee, what's going to come of your business, right? Same thing with if you're in real estate and you own property, but you need someone to manage that property, or you need someone to rent that property. Same thing if you are working a job, you need someone to hire you so that you can go out there and provide for your family. we're all the same, basically. We just have different comfort levels. Where is your comfort level, right? And are you using the tools that are available to you to make sure that within your level of comfort, you're being as prosperous as possible? If you're not, or if you're not sure, you should talk with somebody who knows. That way you can make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck, making your efforts count the most for you. Because you have one life to live. So you might as well live it wisely. Because every day that we pass is a day we can't get back. And we can all look back, excuse me, we can all look back and think about all of our accomplishments and the things that we went through. But we're human. We're also going to think about the things that went wrong and things that we could have done better. So as this year winds down, I mean, we're in September already. So next year is approaching and I'm starting to make my plans for next year. And I'm thinking, what is it that's really important to me that I need to focus on for the rest of this year and for next year? I pose those same questions to you. What is it that is really important to you that you need to start focusing on so that you can accomplish it by the end of this year or by the end of next year? Have you written down those goals? Have you thought about the how-tos instead of the, what, but the hows that go with the what's? Think a little deeper. Find out, how's it going to affect you? How's it going to affect your family? Are you going to be able to leave benefits for your family? Like all the work that you put in. I don't know if I'm saying this. I hope this makes sense to you guys. And I may be rambling a bit, but I'm rambling a little bit because I'm starting to really understand that time is so precious. We can't get it back. And the choices that we make today affect our tomorrow, the tomorrow of our kids, and so on and so forth. And like me being me, like I just want to make sure that I'm putting this information out there so that if there's anyone else who thinks the way that I think, you know that you have a resource. You can contact me, call me, text me, message me. Whether or not you're interested in business, but maybe you just have some ideas you want to bounce off of somebody that you know you can trust, that you know is not gonna like take your ideas and run with them. I'm not that type of person. But you have resources. You have people you can reach out to, so do that. Because if you don't, you'll look back and you'll regret it. And it doesn't make sense to live your life with regret. It's better try it and fail, learn from that failure, and then try something else than to keep thinking about it in your mind over and over again and then you don't do anything. That analysis paralysis, which I'm guilty of myself because I hate to be wrong. So I kind of want to know everything, excuse me, before I try it. But I've come to learn that there's nothing wrong with failing. You fail forward. You try it and you succeed, great. You try it and you fail, great. You just learn something new. Now you know what doesn't work, so you try something new. It's all mindset, right? So get out there, apply what you can apply, save on whatever taxes you can save on, because we already know we are the people, we make up the government. We have a whole bunch of people in there that, in my opinion, need to get out. But if we don't do our parts, they're just going to stay there and we'll have to deal with what we deal with. So anyway, I digress. Make your days count. Make your time count. And whether you are an employee, an employer, or a business owner, thank you for the contribution that you are making to our society. We are America. This is one of the greatest countries in the world. And it's because we have so many diverse people from so many different backgrounds contributing and making us stand out as people willing to put in the work, people willing to fight for what they believe is right, to fight for their families. So kudos to you for doing what you got to do to put food on your table, to make sure that your kids are clothed, to make sure that your family is safe. Kudos to you for fighting for your Camelot, Don't just wait for somebody to give it to you. Don't just accept what somebody's willing to tell you you can or can't do. If you believe you've got something good to offer the world, go out there and offer it with confidence and try. No, don't try. Do what you got to do to make it successful. I hope this blesses someone. I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Be blessed. Bye.